the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation is contracting for those rehabilitations. That will broaden now under an RFP that will be reviewed by the City Council next week. But Gimmick has hired 13 Northside or minority contractors representing about 62% of their business. Now, much depends on our ability to prepare the workforce behind those growing businesses. We want those businesses to grow on the north side, where there is a need for larger employers and abundant opportunities in the residential rehab business. So that's what we're working on right now, closely with Summit Academy and other job training providers, and it's going well.
Louis King, let me ask you to jump in here and talk about the impact of a job and the impact of federal spending or state spending or city spending. Describe that whole picture for us.
Sure. In order to get a real understanding of the sport, you got to get inside the numbers. Now, Mike and I have been partners a long time, done a lot of great work, and I appreciate what he does. While the city of Minneapolis had a white unemployment rate of 4%, for the African-American community, it was 14%. 45% of African-Americans in the city of Minneapolis as of last March lived in poverty, okay? So when people don't get jobs, this is a big deal because when we take a guy, he goes from $5,000 to $44,000, all right, in 20 weeks. Well, think about the impact that guy has. He will eat lunch at a diner somewhere, which allows the waitress to shop at Target. And I didn't say Walmart, local firm, Target, right, which then allows the cashier to take his or her children to McDonald's, which then allows McDonald's to give after-school jobs. Now, if people don't play by the rules and allow that guy to get the job, none of those other events occur. So then there's this whole massive scurrying around about what to do about those people. I heard the president mention Minneapolis and talk about the 57 police officers. The fact of the matter is, if we had less poverty and more employment, we need less cops. Okay, now that's why we're excited about the partnership that Mike and the mayor are bringing forward. Now here's the trick to the deal. Many people are used to doing business in the old way, meaning they get the contract from the city, the county, or the state, and then they begin to say, well, how will we get our minority inclusion deal done? And I see Mr. English in the audience. Last year we had to take on successfully that effort with the stadium, and as a result of that, we're going to get change in county policy, and we're pushing it at the state level as well. This goes back to changing the game. If we don't change the business as usual so that it is more equitable, then we will continue to be faced with the problems that we have. I do not condone crime. Anyone who knows me knows that discipline is a straight part of my life. However, I have met enough people now and even talked to federal law enforcement agencies who understand and state that what we're trying to do in terms of putting people to work while stressing values will have the most long-term impact. But this will not happen without us working. The work behind the scenes, to sit down with the special interests. I don't have any problems with labor, for example, because we come to them and we say we don't want the jobs when they don't pay any more money. We want them to stay at prevailing wage. We want to send you members. We say to the AGC, though, your members must play by the rules, and if they play by the rules, they'll be fine. If not, we're going to put pressure on the public agencies to apply the law, and letting you get by and not do right when you're spending taxpayers' money will no longer be tolerated, because it's one of the reasons this country is in the state that it's in. Let's talk about the opportunity in front of us. Okay. MnDOT will spend roughly $1 billion this year between the gas tax and the federal stimulus package. The federal stimulus package was projected to yield 12,000 jobs statewide. They will spend $292 million in the metro area. That will yield 7,000 jobs. Let's stretch the envelope and do what we did at the stadium and say that we want 25% minority participation in the metro area. That will be 1,800 jobs. 1,800 jobs, yep, 1,800 out of 12,000 statewide. What's the beef? That's 15%, all right? Now, at about $40,000 per job, it gets to be real interesting math, right? 10 people, $400,000, 100 people, $4 million, 1,000 people, $40 million, and then 80% of that, $720 million in earned wages before they spend one dime on the streets. That is worth us taking the day off from our jobs, middle-class people out there working for the Fortune 500 companies, because if these people don't have jobs, neither will you. They will not be able to buy from Best Buy or Target or Toro or the tape from 3M. This is major big boy ball, big girl ball. We got to show up and get these dollars. So looking at the past, we've lost money. But if we're driving looking in the rearview mirror, we will miss this opportunity, and it is right here, right now. It's worth a lot of money. And 10 years from now, the people who get these opportunities will be the small business owners and the Richard Copelands of the future. And they will set example for our young people. So this is very, very big.
Reverend Miller, St. Paul is trying to organize as well from the city hall level to make sure that there is inclusion of minority and women-owned business. What's happening in St. Paul?
Well, basically what we're trying to do is bring those city resources to the people. Oftentimes when these type of things come down, the partnerships are always at such a high level that the average business on the street on Selby Avenue or on Payne Avenue or on Arcade don't really hear about it till after the fact. So we're trying to get ahead of the game by having a series of town hall meetings in the city of St. Paul in 3 sections of the city to basically say, here's what's coming down, here's how you can get involved, here's what you need to do, and really walk them through for the small business owner. Because I think in all that's been said, there's 2 types of preparation. And oftentimes we look for the massive preparation and we forget that there is the developmental preparation that has to happen for that worker to be prepared to work. They can have the skills, but if they don't have the mentality to work, then we're still going to be where we are. And so I think this is where the small business comes in. This is where the church comes in. This is where our social service agencies. And so we still have to look at that stimulus package and say, what's in it for them? Not saying that the church has to get any money, but what kind of support? Because again, if that person has a job, we hope they're going to church.
That's right.
If they're going to church, they're going to give something in the plate. If they give something in the plate, then the church can expand. So there's a whole parallel universe out there within the African American community of what happens when that person gets a job as well. It's not just to the Target and to the Best Buy and to all the businesses. It's also to our community, the local store, the local business, this local contractor. So we have to look at this in a parallel. We have to look at this on both sides and make sure that everybody is talking, not just those who have access to government and officials, but also bringing those officials to the people. And that's what we're trying to do in St. Paul, is basically say, sit down with that local business owner, let them know what is available, how they can get access, so that everybody gets a part of this, not just those who hear about it or has a computer or has access in the traditional ways of getting information.
Mike Christensen, you said that $70 million has been identified so far for housing. What's the big number? How much money can Minneapolis look for coming from the federal stimulus package in total? What do you think?
Don't know, Al. It's a great question. Stephen Bozacker is the city coordinator, is pulling together that information, and we'll have it for you within 2 weeks. And it's significant. And what Lewis and Reverend Young are saying are right on target. That's exactly what we need to do when we're on it. We need to make sure the opportunities exist for all our communities and that we move quickly throughout the private sector. People are hungry for construction right now. We realize that. What Reverend Young said about, or Reverend Miller, I'm sorry, said about being prepared is a key for the city of Minneapolis now, because where there aren't job opportunities in certain industries, we're hoping people take advantage of higher education. And the Dunwoody program on green construction